Modern monetary theory is moronic. Quantitative easing, or simply put, printing money, is being considered by some modern economists as a way to solve a country's debt problems. It basically states that a country can never run out of money because the state just prints more, and then it becomes the job of the government to fight the ensuing inflation. And it's absolutely mental. And incidentally, it's exactly what the Green Party are putting forward to the electorate. And this is one of those ideas that if you criticise it, someone will always say, but it's never been tried properly. But it has. During COVID, the UK government printed, or borrowed, depending on your point of view, £350 billion, which is why we now have some of the highest government debt interest rates in the world. This was also exacerbated by Liz Truss's ill-fated period as Prime Minister, with her plan being to cut taxes but then use borrowing money to cover the ensuing deficit. The bond markets then lost the plot and everyone's mortgage renewals skyrocketed to 6%. We printed more money to bail out the banks in 2008 and then kept interest rates at 0.5% for nearly 2 decades, meaning that borrowing money was basically free. Which is a big part of the reason that everyone's so poor and no one's wages really grew. This all adds up to an economy that is now £2 trillion in debt. And every time you print money, you spike inflation. The idea that you could put £2 trillion into the economy and control where that money goes is so insane that anyone putting that forward needs their head examining. And we again have examples of this. After COVID, we saw one of the biggest inflation spikes of assets in decades, because all the money that was injected in the economy trickled upwards to billionaires. This is where me and Gary Stevenson really align. Because if you give people more money to spend, they spend it on assets. And if there's a finite number of assets, it means the price spikes. Until finally, once again, only a few can afford it. It's just supply and demand. So if rich people already own a load of assets and you spike its value, the only people that benefit are the rich. But don't just take my word for it. Remember when you were at school? Did any of you study the Weimar Republic? This was the government created in Germany after the First World War. The Allies, in the form of the French, the British and the Americans, forced Germany to pay reparations. Long story short, they ran out of money. So what did they do? Printed more to afford the payments. And this caused hyperinflation. Prices for goods skyrocketed, doubling almost daily. A loaf of bread that cost 160 marks in 1922 cost 200 billion by late 1923. The currency then collapsed before the country had to create a new currency in the form of the Rentenmark. A currency has to have value to function, especially in a globalized world. MMT is fantasy economics. Do not believe it.